On their way to school, Tamra and Ever tease each other about their crushes. While Tamra gets distracted complaining about their antisocial tendencies, Ever tries to make her stop, but it's too late. The car hits a bicycle and sends Randall into the trash. Randall is angry and starts ranting, but he instantly stops when he sees Tamra. He's about to ask her out, only to suddenly be hit by a slushie. It was thrown by Danny, who is driving with his best friend Hunt and his girlfriend JC. They behave like total jerks. However, Tamra still talks nicely to them because she's desperate to be popular. Ever wants to offer Randall a ride, but Tamra refuses. Later at school, the class gets ready for a field trip. Gym teacher Lorenzo confiscates everyone's phones and mocks Ever when she says she doesn't have one. Lorenzo also jokingly says that he must take the bus driver's phone, but Wayne isn't amused. Before they leave, Lorenzo gives a cheesy speech about getting to connect with real nature. After driving for a few hours, Lorenzo realizes that Wayne has taken the wrong road. An argument ensues and Wayne gets distracted, so he isn't looking ahead. Suddenly, the bus hits something and blood is splattered all over the windshield. Unable to see the road, Wayne ends up driving the bus through a fence and down the hill. He hits the brakes and the bus crashes, causing everyone to hit their heads and even puke. JC breaks her nose and Lorenzo just tells her to cover it. At that moment, they see something moving in the woods and the bus begins shaking when that something bangs on it. Suddenly, the radio emits an alarm with a message from the Office of Civil Defense, telling all citizens to evacuate to the nearest shelter because they're under a chemical attack. Then something hits the window, leaving blood on the glass. A person appears at the door and Lorenzo wants to open the door. Wayne and the teens are against the idea, but Lorenzo opens it anyway. The person jumps on Lorenzo and bites his face, revealing he's a zombie. The teens panic and rush to the emergency exit. Candace trips on her way out and they step on her, causing her to cough up blood. The zombie brings down Lorenzo and starts attacking the last few teens, throwing them around. Ever grabs Candace's hand and tries to pull her out, but it's too late. The zombie has grabbed her feet and pulled her back into the bus, while the zombie catches the last few teens that couldn't escape. Ever runs through the woods. She almost gets lost in a mysterious thick fog, but she manages to cross it and reunite with Tamra. Hearing a roar in the distance, the survivors keep moving together until they find a building. They rush inside and Danny slips on a pool of blood, causing him to fall on the intestines of a dead horse. It's so gross that the others refuse to help him and he has to crawl out. They decide to keep looking and find another building, where they can hear many roars and slamming doors. There are roars behind them too, so they have no choice but to move forward. The teens keep arguing about the situation and Danny thinks everyone is exaggerating because zombies don't exist. As they wonder how their families are doing, the group hears the roars getting closer, so they run to hide in the building. Once inside the apartment, they split to look for weapons. In a dark room, they find creepy stuffed animals surrounded by candles, but also some useful tools. They also start moving big objects and furniture to block all exits. While working on the window, Tamra thinks she sees somebody outside and hears a female scream. She's startled out of it by Hunt's dumb and rude comments. Steven notices that Ever is nervous and swears to protect her, claiming he has experience thanks to playing tabletop games. They discuss how mean the popular kids are and Randall points out that Ever will lose Tamra to them. Meanwhile, JC is trying to convince Tamra that she should hang out with her group instead of Ever. After they finish securing the apartment, they hear Candace's voice asking for help. Ever looks outside and confirms it's her, so she wants to help her. However, Randall stops her as he points at the zombie that has appeared near the door. Everyone steps back in fear and waits until the creature is gone to talk again. Ever looks out again and sees that the zombie is climbing on top of a van to watch Candace from afar. She insists they should help, but everyone refuses because it's too dangerous. When the zombie jumps off the van, Ever opens the window and calls Candace's name. As the girl starts running toward the apartment, Ever tries to open the door too, but the others won't help her. The zombie tackles Candace to the ground and starts smashing her head while a mutated Wayne appears at the door. Ever steps back as Wayne punches through the wood and inserts his head into the hole. Suddenly, the door goes down because the zombies have thrown Candace's body at it. Wayne bursts through the open entrance and the other zombie breaks in through a wall. Danny hits Wayne with a wooden plank to create an opening and the teens start running until they find another room. They struggle to close the door because Wayne keeps pushing on the other side, but thankfully, they manage to lock it in the end. When they turn on the lights, they discover graffiti on the walls and glowing sticks on the floor, which indicates that a rave happened here. JC steps back and screams when she bumps into something, but the thing behind the curtain is just their classmate Ryan. He explains he saw the monsters attack the other teens, who started to act differently. This implies they were infected, but Danny still refuses to believe zombies are real. Suddenly, the first zombie opens the back door, revealing he's brought more of his kind. The teens move toward the entrance, but Wayne and more creatures are there. They desperately start moving all the curtains, looking for another exit. As the zombies slowly come closer, The teens notice a hole in the wall and Randall punches the plank covering it until it falls. Hunt is stuck behind another curtain punching the zombies while begging his best friend for help. When the creatures surround him and grab him, Danny rushes to help him. He fights as many zombies as he can. But sadly, Hunt is dragged away by the horde and Danny has to run. Meanwhile, Ryan is trying to cross the hole, but his body is too big and he's starting to bleed. Ever pushes him with all her strength and Ryan falls through, his wound getting worse in the process. She also falls into the hole and a zombie tries to jump on her. However, Danny returns and pulls the monster back, throwing him away before rejoining the group. Randall covers the hole again and everyone continues to run. In the next room, they find tons of creepy mannequins and clown dolls. Danny has a breakdown over losing Hunt and blames Ever for revealing their presence to the zombies. At that moment, he notices that the mannequins look like them and concludes they've been specifically chosen for the attack. Ever is disturbed to see that her mannequin says nothing on its face. Suddenly, Wayne bursts through the dolls and the teens dodge him after seeing his reflection in the mirror. The boys fail to tackle him and Wayne spreads blood on Tamra's arm before Randall hits him on the head to bring him down. Randall doesn't stop, though. He just keeps furiously hitting Wayne's head until he isn't moving. Ryan and Tamra call him amazing and she even hugs him. Ever looks at the things that fell from Wayne's pocket and points out that he consumed lots of illegal substances before taking his lighter. Suddenly, Danny starts coughing and says he feels cold. Randall wonders if he was hurt, so Danny lifts his t-shirt and reveals that a zombie injected him with something during the fight. After taking the jacket from his mannequin, he announces he'll save Hunt. As Danny takes the stairs, he starts feeling dizzy and he has to crawl to the next floor. The others follow him and Ryan asks him if he wants water, but calls him Daniel instead of Danny. This triggers Danny's anger issues and he starts insulting Ryan as he pushes him against the wall. He only lets go when Ever yells at him. Then Danny starts ranting, saying he lost it all and had to change everything about himself to stop feeling disgusted by his own persona. Suddenly, Wayne bursts through the door and everyone moves out of the way, so he ends up tackling Danny and they both fall through the window. The group looks out and notices the unconscious bodies on the ground, so they think they're dead. JC cries while Ryan explains that Danny wasn't a jerk when they were younger. At that moment, Danny's body starts twisting until he stands and runs away. They hear the roaring in the distance and now that Danny is gone, Randall hugs JC as he promises to save her. He thinks the forest is too dangerous and they should barricade themselves in the building. However, Ever points out that they have no food or water and nobody will find them there, so they should go out to get help. Her idea is to lure all the zombies to one side of the building and escape through the opposite side. Hopefully, they can find the bus and their phones. When Randall tries to protest, Ever points out she doesn't need his permission. Next, Ever grabs a bunch of paint cans and ties them together. Using Wayne's lighter, she lights them on fire and throws them at the van outside. This gets the attention of the zombies, who start to surround the flames. Ever leaves the group and Tamra tries to stop her, but Ever calls her out because she's been ignoring her in favor of the popular kids instead of supporting her. Ever keeps moving and Steven decides to come with her. The duo moves the barricade and makes it outside. They quickly reach the bus and enter through the back door. Ever can't help but scream when an arm appears on a seat, but it's just Lorenzo's body. Then she finds the teacher's bag and is devastated to discover that all the phones were broken during the attack. Ever cries as she realizes her plan was pointless and admits she feels like a failure in life. Steven admits he has insecurities too and they bond. When they're about to kiss, Ever notices that the bus radio is beeping. She takes a closer look and finds a tape with the emergency message. This confirms they were set up. Suddenly, Steven injects her shoulder and apologizes, saying she wasn't supposed to find out. As Ever collapses because her body is paralyzed, Randall appears and congratulates Steven for doing a good job. This all started around a month ago. Randall approached Steven with a plan. He wanted to scare the popular kids for being jerks and save the girls to get them to notice them. Steven agreed to help and the duo went to the abandoned building to work together, while decorating all the rooms to make them creepy. Randall revealed that a dealer called Chip would be helping them too. In the present, Randall is yelling at Chip, who turns out to be the zombie that killed Lorenzo. He was only supposed to knock him out, so Randall is furious. When Chip takes off his mask, Ever hallucinates Lorenzo telling her that he looks familiar and she remembers seeing Chip near the bus at school. The flashback continues, showing that Wayne was also part of the plan. He was one of Chip's clients and joined the group because Lorenzo had been harassing him since they were young. The accident on the road was caused by Chip throwing a balloon at the bus. All the zombies were their classmates from the bus, who were injected by Chip with a powerful green substance that made people slow, dumb, and agreeable. It was Wayne who destroyed the phones on purpose. In the bus, the three boys keep arguing and Steven is angry because Chip had promised that the green substance wouldn't hurt them. Chip insists it's true and that nobody will remember anything when they wake up. Hearing this argument makes Ever realize that the zombie that attacked her earlier was actually asking her for help. Then Chip reveals that all their injected victims are in a cage. So it's time to finish this. He goes on a rant about all the jerks that harassed him in school and how they must stop them to break the cycle. As he puts on a glove of syringes, Steven freaks out because he wasn't told this part of the plan. Randall announces he's going back to Tamra and apologizes to Steven, since the plan has gone wrong. He thinks they have no choice but to kill everyone to avoid going to prison. As Steven freaks out again, Randall tells him not to worry because they'll just frame the girls. After Steven leaves with Randall, Ever cries while watching Chip have a smoke. She hallucinates Lorenzo telling her to do something to survive. She forces her body to start crawling, but when she's about to reach the back door, Chip pulls her back and throws her on a seat. The Lorenzo hallucination tells her to think of her poor mother and Ever's eyes start glowing red. She headbutts Chip's head to push him off. Then she hits him with a boombox. Once he's down, she keeps bashing his head until he's out. In the building, a frustrated Randall destroyed the diorama of their plan. Then he shows Steven the cage with their victims, whom he plans to kill with a new plan. Hunt curses him before Randall gives him an injection. After injecting all the students, Randall asks Steven to open the cage at the right moment and leaves the room to reunite with Tamra. He tells her that Ever is dead and hugs her while she cries. While the duo finds Ryan and JC, the students in the cage go crazy and ask Steven for help. Hearing the screaming, Randall tells the group that those are the zombies who killed their friends and they have to kill them for revenge. He reveals he has a bag of weapons and hands them out, even taking a sword for himself. Randall opens the door to the zombies at the same time that Steven opens the cage, but at that moment Ever arrives and closes the cage again while asking the others to stop. Her veins are very black, so JC thinks she's a zombie too, as Randall tries to convince the others to kill her. Ever shares the details of the plan and Danny backs her up from the cage. While JC and Ryan are relieved to hear that Danny is normal again, Ever asks Tamra to support her. Tamra hits Randall on the head and sends him flying against a curtain. When it falls, it reveals a mural of Randall being a hero with Tamra grabbing his leg. Steven is also there protecting Ever. When Steven tries to attack Ever with a syringe, the students in the cage drag him in and Ever helps them by pushing. Hunt and Danny come out and let the others beat Steven up. While the friends reunite, Randall attacks Ever with a sword. JC throws her a crowbar and Ever blocks every blow. Tamra then comes after Randall, telling him she'd never be with someone like him. He furiously destroys her weapon and gets ready to kill her, but Danny rushes to act as a shield. Ever throws the crowbar back at JC, who immediately knocks Randall down. However, he recovers quickly and attacks Ever again. At that moment, she reveals she has Chip's syringe glove and stabs Randall in the face before pushing him down the stairs. Afterward, both Ever and Danny puke because of the substance leaving their systems and Danny apologizes to Ever for being a jerk. Suddenly, an overdosing Randall comes back, but Ever isn't scared. All the students are recovering and ready to fight. They punch Randall several times, yet Randall still manages to headbutt JC. Ryan joins the fight and brutally beats Randall up until he's down, getting Tamra to call him awesome. Feeling better, Ever hits Randall in the face with the sword to finally knock him out. A few hours later, Wayne wakes up tied outside. Steven and Randall are out and tied against the mural. Ryan takes Danny away in a wheelbarrow and Danny asks him to call him Daniel as they agree to be friends again. Hunt is confused, so Danny reveals that he went to fat camp with Ryan, but he became a jerk after losing weight. JC befriends Candace and the whole class appears to get along now, with no discrimination between popular kids and losers. Ever and Tamra apologize to each other for their attitudes lately and admit they need each other with a hug. After taking Chip's body out, the group works together to fix the bus and leave the forest. Suddenly, they scream when Lorenzo wakes up. A few weeks later, a teacher asks Steven and Randall to work for her to discipline unruly kids. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.